Hi, today I would like to talk about some stuff that came up in a class I'm in called Living Deeply. And we looked at what sanity means. And that's kind of like what I will stay focused on for this video. So when there's a lack of money or there's a lack of loneliness, we make excuses sometimes. And we start to judge ourselves, we judge others for not being like us. We start thinking that we have to hide the fact that we need space and time, and, we might start controlling other people's ideas of us. We forget that if people are not doing better, they don't know better. We start holding these standards up to everyone and out of our needs, and, we have a struggle with the pause after the exhale, so we let something go. Instead, we might, as soon as we let something go, we might quickly try to grab onto something, or when we take something in. Instead of that pause, we maybe right away let it go. We hold on and then let it go. We can't have it. And it's we may think of ourselves or others as a means to an end. So this is kind of my way versus God's way, for example, is to not take it personally. It's we're praying for the collective in the sense that when people are suffering, they become narcissistic. They look at everything around them as a means to an end to what? Suffering. So sanity here is what I'm calling peace and safety, clarity, right? We're not here to suffer for love. When we're dehumanized and we're not loved just for being an active, adaptive being, we start to confuse our intrinsic worth with maybe that our gifts are not here in the present moment. We have to do stuff to be gifted, or we have to buy stuff or work for stuff to be gifted. And we're not meant to waste the gift of now. We have to stay in the present more. It's like a commitment for the sanity that we're craving. And there's a heart in distress is the most precious to God. Why? Because there's a storehouse here. There's a storehouse. The greedy self cuts off all circulation. There's not enough, we cut off. But actually, we cut off the flow of getting more. So if we're able to be in distress and be I need more, but not cut off the flow, continue to share, continue to be in motion, we're receiving to share, it comes through us, we receive more blessing. In fact, we can make a living amends by seeing why we take these things personally and project onto others, why we're assuming that others will do what I do, which is we're not living deeply because we're dehumanizing ourselves and others. And I made a comment about the heart in distress. So it's most precious to God because that's when we stay open, and it's it's pulsing with a need, and it's not becoming destructive yet, right? So that's the crack in everything. That's how the light gets in. And then we have the eyes wide open. We don't forget the taste of the love, even when we don't feel the love. And that's being more of a dwelling place. Forgiving ourselves for being a process. We're being a dwelling for love. The love comes into us. We literally love our life with the little tiny bit of love we have. And it causes a ton more love to come. This is a mathematical equation I'm saying here. So we don't forget the sight. We keep our faith. And this is also from Marianne Williamson. She talks about this stuff. Keep faith, keep trust, keep the testimony of grace, keep making peace with the pain of the rock bottom in ourselves. Allow ourselves to trust the process of the shift in the paradigm, right? There's a blessing that's happening for others when we're not looking at everyone as a means to an end, when we're holding our spiritual experience. We die to who we were. We'll never be okay without it. We don't have it, and we're not being not okay. We're adapting. It's supposed to be everything the way it's happening, and everyone's who they're supposed to be. So we become this force of nature, and every moment is arriving for our presence and our blessing. This moment may feel like it sucks, but we don't have to die in our death, because we keep dying. We become connected to what is called eternal life. In Kabbalah, it says that what we ask for is granted immediately. If the vessel is at capacity, it has the capacity and is pure enough. If we feel lack, it's because I was receiving more light than the output balanced in the gradient. So there's a shift, right? So that's the idea of this mathematical equation. I was taking in more than I was putting out, so it gives me a chance to catch up. The energy of receiving is mercy. I feel worthy, I feel worthy. The judgment is the boundaries, the energy of earning, I feel unworthy. Right? So the only thing stopping miracles is an uncorrected mutation in the code. This means that there are highlighters of where there's an incorrect mutation, where do I feel unworthy or worthy in an inappropriate way, is when I'm tested, right? When I'm tested, I'm supposed to get more. It feels like there's a lack. The heart starts to pulse. I need more. We don't become destructive. Actually, that's where we begin to heal. That's where mercy can come in. An outpour of love comes in because we stay whole in that moment. In our brokenness, we stay whole. We stay in the grace. We stay in the faith and the trust. The ideal is that we're ready to receive. It's a game, right? Because if we're whole, we're not needy at all. A little bit depends on how satisfied we are, right? So if you're totally fine, you just drink a sip of water, you can continue going. But if you're so thirsty, you got to drink a whole bottle, right? So this ideal that you can only be satisfied with a whole bottle is the game. You have to be ready to receive even that little bit of water, and I'll be okay. A little bit more water. And then suddenly you get to the place and there's like tons of bottles of water everywhere. I'm just giving a stupid example or insignificant. Just so like the idea is clear. It's a mathematical equation. So whatever we ask for, we have to be capable of accepting our potential power and blessings together with their challenges and their strengtheners. So remember what I said, these tests are going to show us where we're worthy or unworthy in our beliefs, okay? Kabbalah means to receive. And then the judgment and mercy, judgment shifts to mercy when we have certainty in these painful times, right? That's what I was just talking about here. And Bina, this idea, and like Ima, and like Chachma is the father. So Chachma is like the one who sends out a little bit, right? And then Bina is the mother. She might say, and which is given to the mother, right? The light. It's a storehouse. And then the mother might say, like, Bina is like the level of judgment, right? So then it's like, now I have to earn it. Like, she has to do something. She has to like the father brings home the money, and then she has to like buy the food and cook it. And then it's like, then she serves it to the family, right? She's loving him with whatever he gave her. And then he takes the whole family to go out to eat the next day, and like, you know, like this idea of now it goes through all the emotion, like the Zeir Anpin is the emotions of bringing it back up, and then it comes, you know, then it soaks her in love, like for 3 days in a row. He's getting, you know, because he gave her so little and she made so much that the love flows in. So she loves him with the very love he gave her. So that's this energy of mercy, energy of judgment. We pause with a pleasure. You don't know if you're getting mercy or judgment. If you're getting a little bit of what feels like, you know, not enough, that's a time where mercy is in middle of with judgment's in middle of switching to mercy. Stay present for the process. We proving I am or showing I am versus being I am. So this Zeir Anpin is this Tubin channel of energy delivered in a life. Time can take longer than an instant. So like I said, maybe it's the next day, maybe it's the week. It gets transferred into a buffer, which contains all the judgment and mercy from before. It's protected from unfiltered, and just enough in a way that it doesn't destroy, but instead it benefits. So you're not going to get more than you can handle. So she's not going to get only $1 to buy the whole family dinner. And if she does, there's also going to be a neighbor who's going to text her, do you want some extra pasta I made? It's probably enough for your family, like to each have a bowl. And you know, somebody else might say, can I drop off some milk? Cereal milk. I don't like this brand. My kids are not eating it. And like, it'll happen that just, you know, and then her husband, seeing how she did all this and transformed everything with $1, he's going to give her the next day. He's going to try to give much, much more. He's going to actually find a way to get more stuff. He's going to go to the food pantry even, right? So even in desperate times and measures, you're going to get what you could handle, and there's always going to be a way where judgment's going to shift into mercy because of the experience of staying present. And Malchut, which is that, like, you know, that being showered with blessing after, is experience in the physical world, a reality. And we're a product of the environment. Accompanied with conscious people, inspiration, reminders, you know, tasting perfection is a way to keep connecting to God. So when we stay close to people who are actually practicing this practice of, during these difficult moments, staying open and waiting for the judgment to shift into mercy, that is a way to keep connected to God. So thank you. I hope you like this topic, and I look forward to sharing more tomorrow. I'm going to be probably doing a video on boundaries. So that's like the next step on what we're talking about here, right? Like our boundaries. So looking forward to that. Thank you. Bye.